Giddy up, partner. Sarah Drew is bringing a bit of yeehaw to Yuletide this year in her new Lifetime film, A Cowboy Christmas Romance. The Grey's Anatomy alum serves as writer and executive producer on the network's hottest holiday rom-com yet, which follows real estate agent Lexi Jenna Kramer, as she begrudgingly returns to her hometown for the first time in a decade to convince rancher Kobe, Adam Sin, to sell his prime Tubac, Arizona, property to her mysterious new client. As Lexi is forced to reckon with the family she left behind, single father Kobe must decide what's truly best for his family's future. Drew, who wrote and starred in her first Lifetime holiday hit Reindeer Games Homecoming last year, was inspired to get back in the saddle and write another festive flick after starring in the Western Birthright Outlaw last fall. She describes A Cowboy Christmas Romance as Yellowstone meets Bridgerton, with a little Christmas spiced in there along the way. I had just shot a Western last fall and I learned a ton about horse training and horse whisperers and what horses do for you and your soul. She tells EW. And I was like, this could be a really interesting way to talk about how we handle and heal in our own relationships and family dynamics. To prepare for the project, Drew combined her personal research into the struggles that ranch owners like Kobe face today with her own knowledge of horses and exciting anecdotes that her friends on the Birthright Outlaw horse wrangling team told her between takes. I read a ton of articles about small ranch owners really being shoved out and bought by very, very rich moguls and property value going through the roof from out-of-towners coming in, she recalls. There's so much that they're all dealing with that's making it really, really hard for the American rancher. I was like, oh, gosh, this is big, deep-rooted drama that we could dive into, but still keep it in this Christmas vibe. And drama is certainly what unfolds when Lexi and Kobe, blissfully unaware of how they'll change each other's lives in the forthcoming days, first meet at a bar. Thinking that she's the blind date he'd been set up with, Kobe tries to flirt with her but quickly gets the cold shoulder. The movie that inspired the whole opening bar sequence with him is Meet Joe Black, Drew says, pointing specifically to the 1998 film's diner scene between Brad Pitt and Claire Forlani. There's just such a beautiful exploration and connection that happens for a long time. Like that scene is very, very, very long, but it really moves because it's taking different twists and turns. Lexi and Kobe's sizzling chemistry takes center stage throughout the film, which made headlines prior to its release when it was revealed to be the first ever Lifetime holiday film to feature a sex scene. When Drew saw early footage of the spicy sequence, she couldn't have been happier. When I saw the stuff in the kitchen, I was like, exactly what I wrote. You nailed it. You guys are in it. I am thrilled, she says. I had it written in my stage direction. He hoists her onto the countertop. He moves things out of the way. Like, go in there. Go in. Still, Drew notes that she wrote the steamy scene with purpose in mind. It wasn't like, oh, let me try to do this thing that'll get headlines. I was like, no, I think this makes sense. They're falling in love, Drew says. And every single step of the way is drawing them closer together. And they're super connected to one another. And they're grown-ups. They're grown-ups and they're feeling the vibes. But the couple's blooming relationship is more than just physical. It teaches them a few important life lessons, too. They have to learn how to surrender and let go. And there's something really beautiful and profound about that, Drew says. And in the surrender is where they find love, and she finds healing with her family. Lexi shares an estranged relationship with her father Harrison, Bruce Thomas, and brothers Walton, Sterling Jones, and Jack, Max Eric, with none of them truly able to bridge the gap after so many years lost. Drew notes that their family dynamic highlights the ways that we find ourselves in conflict with people we love because of a massive misunderstanding. She adds, I feel like so much of pain in relationships is just from people missing each other. She hopes that A Cowboy Christmas Romance gives viewers a sense of hope during the festive season. I do think holidays can be so stressful and hard because of so much dysfunction in families, and I think everybody has a taste of that in some piece of their family. It's not all sugar cookies and hot chocolate. It is hard, she says. And I hope that people kind of witness it and have just a cathartic experience of like, oh, that made me gush and feel all the feels, but also like, I'm crying because it's so beautiful to see restoration happen in real time.